Well, hello all. I trust you're all well. It sounds like I've come out of hibernation from the winter, not intended. I was hoping to get out most days, if I'm honest, but unfortunately I was never quite well enough to get out, which has been really frustrating. But hey, it's nice to be out. It's the end of February, so it really is like springtime, which has been really lovely. Saw lots of nice daffodils on the way out here. So I've made it out to Winchcombe today, and I thought I would give you guys a bit of an update on how I'm doing and some of the plans that I've got, because there's some things upcoming that I thought I'd let you know about. I've also started with my new mics, woo! So there's no shutting me up now, and hopefully it might improve the wind situation when I'm on slightly windy places, but we'll have to just see if that actually helps. I do have a directional mic, and that is very good, but obviously I like to do this a lot, and I think you can still hear me, whereas you wouldn't on a directional mic. So that's the reason why I got the wireless, and I hope the quality will be a lot better than when I was using the wind kind of afro, is what I called it, my GoPro afro. It was basically like a sponge that would go over the top of the whole thing, and it definitely was helpful, but it just wasn't that great for wind. So yeah, we'll see how I get on with this. And so yeah, that's that kind of sorted, as in all my tech updates. Woohoo, finally. But yeah, so I've made it to Winchcombe. I'm actually just outside Sudley Castle, as you probably can see over there, and actually this kind of reminds me a bit of where I've been before. So if you look over there, I think that's where the Windrush Way comes through. I've actually walked down the Warden's Way from Winchcombe to a little quiet spot, and it's kind of just the other side of the castle, I think. So I'm hoping to do the Warden's Way this year. I did the Windrush Way last summer, or the summer before even, but it was a really long trip from Bourton-on-the-Water to here, and there's the Warden's Way as well, and I think it's a similar Bourton-on-the-Water to Winchcombe, it just goes a different way. So I thought that would be quite a nice trip to do at some point, but I'd need to be pretty on it health-wise, so we'll see how that goes. So what on earth have I been up to over the whole of winter? So I went away for Christmas. I had a birthday, my 40th, and I was not even well enough to bake a cake. I was really sad about that, and it was too cold. It was that really cold spell, and I didn't have my winter kit, so I couldn't go wild camping. I was very grumpy about that, but I was able to get out at Christmas to see some friends. But on the way back, I had a really bad train journey, unsurprising to hear, I'm sure, and it was supposed to be one change, and there ended up being 3 changes, and platform cancellations, and train drivers didn't turn up, and then waiting an hour for the next one. I ended up in the middle of nowhere at a station where it said, oh, you can change here, and I went there and there was no train. So it was one of those journeys, and I got so tired that I basically collapsed at the last train on the way home. And yeah, I think it set me back so far that really it's only now that I've started to really get out and start to do things. But I wouldn't say active, but I think I was really good this time at trying to keep going as much as I could. So mainly exercise wise, just like doing a plank and doing some other isometric exercises, so mainly wall sits and plank actually, just to try and keep my core going, because I just crash and I just have no energy in life whatsoever. Everything's a bit of a struggle. So, but I've been doing really well within that, like trying to keep up with what I can do. And I think I will see the fruit of that as I start to get out again, because even though I'm really unfit at the minute, because I've had quite a sedentary lifestyle, because I have done some things, I'm feeling like I can still feel my core is there. Whereas I think in previous years when I've had a downtime, it's been very difficult to know what I can do, and it just means that then the recovery is a lot slower, because then you've got to build up your core again, and then you've got to try and get fitter. Yeah, it's just not been fun, but I'm glad that I've been able to do that, because I can just tell that that I'm definitely a lot better off than previous years, even though it seems to be a similar outcome, as in I've not had a great quality of life. But even like my diet, I've been a lot better with taking out processed foods, well, ultra processed foods. I've tried to just be a bit more on it. I mean, it took me 6 hours to make a batch cook, what was it, a cottage pie not so long ago, but because I've been doing that, even if it takes me 6 hours of pacing, actually it's been really nice, and it means I'm not relying on ready meals, and that's just delightful. So there's been lots of positives, even though I've not been able to get out. So I'm just really, I mean, it's just really nice to get out. I feel like a pent-up wasp at the minute. So, but I think the other thing that I've been doing is I've not been able to really get out, but I've done something called a bin walk. So there's a kind of walk. If I go out my back door of the flats that I live in, I can go to the communal bins, and then, well, not like, I can go to the communal bins and then go up a tiny little driveway onto a road, walk around to the front of the building. And the nice thing is that there's a little slope, there's also a little bit on a path, so I might say hello to somebody, and then I come into my building and there's some slight steps up, and then there's a row of steps down leading to my flat. And what that means is I'm getting like a little bit of a workout, because I've got a slope, I've got some steps, and I think that's been really important. Otherwise I think I'm going to get osteoporosis if I'm laying down all day, or just not putting any kind of force in my legs, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's plenty of little things that I've been doing. I've been trying to learn a bit more about the editing side of things, what software I want to use, graphics. I found some really cool stuff, and actually I've moving on to the next thing that's very exciting. I've been planning a trip. Last year I decided that I'm gonna go from Berwick-upon-Tweed to Land's End via buses. Now, I'm not the first person to have done this. You might have heard in the news that there are people, I think there was an elderly chap or a lady that went via buses, that like local buses using the disabled or elderly bus pass. So I have a disabled bus pass because of my epilepsy. And I've decided that I'm going to do that, but obviously because of the fatigue that I've been having, it just means that that's added another dimension to the trip, because I can only really do a very small amount in the day. So it just means that I've had to really plan it, that sounds like the stars, doesn't it? Anyway, I've had to plan it quite considerably, and yeah, it's been quite a logistical problem to solve, and I've actually really enjoyed it. It's given me something for my brain to work at a little bit while I've been recovering. And so in a couple of weeks I'm going to be heading across England using my bus pass, and I'm doing it in raising money for Epilepsy Society, because I have epilepsy and it's fairly well controlled, and I obviously do quite a lot of outdoorsy things, and so I'm raising money for the Epilepsy Society, but I'm also wanting to showcase some of the things that you can do with epilepsy and how I manage to do these things and what things I put in place to keep myself safe. So anything from like wild camping, I'm doing some walks. I'm walking across the River Severn bridge, and obviously ending up in the coastal area of Cornwall, so there'll be lots of nice beachy stuff. So I think it's going to be quite an interesting trip, and I am really looking forward to it, but I'm acutely aware that I am a fried chicken right now, and maybe ideally I would have been able to do things a bit more, but I still think it's going to be fun, and I think you'll enjoy the journey with me. So I've got a Facebook page. My website just looks a bit tidier. There's nothing really on it, but it just looks nicer, and there's a contact page as well if people did want to get in touch, and the Instagram's been up and going for a little while, so I feel like there's just lots of things that have been put in place ready for that. I've just been sourcing all the kind of kit and stuff. One of the reasons why I'm doing the trip as well is because it's Purple Day on the 26th of March. It's a Tuesday, and that's the National Awareness Day for Epilepsy. So the idea is that I arrive in Land's End in time for that. So yeah, I don't know what I was thinking when I decided this was gonna, I was gonna do this, but hey, fly. Oh yes, there. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what possessed me, but I'm bonkers, that's all I can say. And but yeah, I'm really looking forward to that trip, and I'm looking forward to doing some other things as well. I think it's going to be a really fun summer up ahead in spring summer, so I'm really stoked for that. Yeah, so I don't know if there's actually anything else to really update you with. I've got quite a lot more kit than I had last summer that I've been waiting to use. I've got a new sleep mat. I feel like Goldilocks with sleep mats, because I had that really short one that was the Thermarest, I think it's the X-Lite, the older one, and that was the 120cm one. That was the first one that I had, got it second hand. I thought, oh yeah, I'll fit that, but I realised that actually the R value of my rucksack at the bottom wasn't very good, so I've decided that then to get another one. And then because obviously financially I thought, well, I don't really want to spend loads of money, and so I got a long wide pad. Madness really, why do I need a long wide pad? And it weighed 1 kilo. It was probably not as much as my sleeping bag. If you've seen my video, the Westmill tour, I used it there. It just about fit in my tent, and so I've got rid of that. That's gone to a new home. So I've got the Big Agnes Rapide, I think you pronounce it Rapide, and it's the red one, and it's the petite version. So I finally think I've got something that fits me properly. So so I feel like I'm there with the sleeping mats. I just think it's really funny that I went for a really small, then a really huge one, and yeah, Goldilocks of sleeping pads. So I'm looking forward to testing that out. I'll be taking that on the trip with me that I'm doing in a few weeks' time, and just a whole load of other bits and bobs really. This jacket's new. This is purple, and it's I got this second hand, so I'm really good at finding bargains, and it's purple because obviously I'm doing a Purple Day trip, so a lot of my kit is gonna be purple. So yeah, you can tell I'm fading, can't you? I'm like a blah 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 blah. But yeah, I'm not sure if I can find anything else to update you with, but that's the main thing. So I wanted to let you know what I've been up to, trying to keep life going, and about the trip that I've got in a few weeks' time. I will be doing a full introduction to that in next week probably, but just wanted to let you know what's been going on really. I trust that you're all well and having a really nice 2024, and here's to a nice brighter spring. Hey, it's nice to see all the bulbs starting to come out and all the daffs, so bring it on is all I can say, and I will speak to you all soon. Love and peace your way.